Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my very great pleasure to introduce Mr. Guy Verhofstadt, the former Prime Minister of Belgium. Please do join me in extending a very warm welcome to him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Rajavi. Thank you very much, Mrs. Rajavi, to be so kind to organize this Free Iran rally, not in Paris, but this time in Brussels. And you see, normally in Brussels, it's always raining. Today, there is the sun. And that is a sign that also things will change in Iran, and that next year we can have the rally in Tehran, in Iran. It's also a sign, Mrs. Yaravi, that this immense, massive presence of Iranian people outside Iran, that there is effectively a democratic alternative for the cruel and criminal Mullah regime in Iran. Indeed, a criminal and an evil regime. A criminal and an evil regime that every day executes 2 civilians, 2 Iranians every day. Iran, under the mullahs, has become the world record holder of the death penalty and of criminality, dear friends. And the message that I want to give today to you and to the international community is that the fact that the Mullah regime is still in Iran, can still continue its crimes, is proof of the failure of the strategy of appeasement that the international community, the West and especially Europe, has followed until now. In fact, this strategy of appeasement, talking to the mullahs about everything, about nuclear weapons, is in fact the proof and is making things worse in Iran. It makes things worse, first of all, for the Iranian people who are suffering so long under this Mullah regime. Secondly, it makes things worse for the region, because the Mullah regime are behind every of the incidents we have seen the last year in the Middle East, backing Hamas, backing the Houthis, backing Hezbollah. Third, it has made things worse, this strategy, for the stability of the world. It is Iran that is in fact backing Russia with military equipment against these Ukrainian civilians who are dying today. And finally, it is this strategy of appeasement that doesn't have disappeared the nuclear threats of Iran, because the Mullah regime does respect its agreements on nuclear deterrence. So the conclusion of today has to be that instead of a strategy of appeasement, we need a new strategy of the international community and especially of Europe. A strategy of engagement, positive engagement with the Iranian people, with the democratic opposition, and with the organized resistance, friends. This strategy of engagement has to be based on 3 core elements. that we have to put in place the fastest as possible to get rid of the Mullah regime. The first element, basic element, is to recognize finally the Islamic Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization tomorrow, dear friends. Secondly, to increase the sanctions against the leadership of the country, be it their politicians, be it their bureaucrats, be it their police, certainly the Revolutionary Guard, but also sanctions on the sectors that are the backbone of the regime, banks, the oil sector. And third, most important element of such a new strategy needs to be to start a structural dialogue with the democratic opposition and to use the 10th plan of Mrs. Rajavi as the start for this structural dialogue. We in the West, we in Europe, have to stop to say that there is no alternative for the mullahs. Your massive presence here today is the proof of the contrary. You are the alternative for the mullahs in Tehran. So, let's start from here. Let's start from this beautiful rally here in Brussels and give us a rendezvous next year in Tehran for free and democratic Iran. Thank you.